قال الله في كتابه الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجوركم يوم القيامة فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز وما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع الغرور صدق الله العلي العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran says and teaches us something that we ourselves try to ignore a lot of the times. The masses or the world today is stuck on keeping a mindset where they don't think about things like death. They don't think about things like moving on to another life, passing away. These are fears that we have. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-An'am teaches us that whether you want to fear it, no matter how much you want to run away from it, don't worry. كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every single soul shall taste death. And every single soul shall be rewarded or punished based on what they have done. Those who stay away from hellfire and enter paradise are the ones who've won within this world. This world is nothing but just an amusement for those living in it. Sadaqallahu al-Aliyyul Azim. To illuminate our hearts and minds once more, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. The start of tonight, we'll be reviewing or recapping something that we have mentioned from the first of Muharram up until now. I'm going to say it one more time. That although almost every single thing we know about Karbala, the tragedies, the devastations, the disasters that occurred, all of them happened within the 10th of Muharram. Although they all happened on Ashura, we start the month earlier, 10 days earlier, some even earlier than that, with mourning and preparing for that final day. It's a tradition where we've picked up from none other than the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam themselves, where the Imam Qadam alayhi salam was seen to not be cheerful or happy at all once the month of Muharram started. It was narrated from the Imam Rida where he says, my father would not be seen happy within the start of the month of Muharram, and sadness and devastation would overtake him. There was no sign of happiness at all within the Imam Qadim alayhi salam. And so we ourselves pick up this exact tradition from the Ahlul Bayt themselves. Now, a wisdom that we mentioned possibly behind us starting so early, preparing for that final day of Ashura, is that if we were to do everything or look at everything regarding the day of Ashura only on the day of Ashura, that wouldn't be enough justice to all the events that have taken place. Although it was one day, although it was just Ashura, so many lessons and so many things can be learned that just restricting all of those to one single day would not be justice or paying enough patronage to what those values actually hold. And so a possible wisdom behind us starting early is to make good use or better absorb those lessons and those teachings. Now, tonight is a blessed night, just like every other night of the month of Muharram. But it's a special night in the case that tonight we have dedicated ourselves to the mourning of Qasim ibn Hassan alayhi salam, the son of the Imam Hassan alayhi salam, one of the martyrs of Karbala. And so, a lesson that we shall analyze tonight regarding Qasim's story to be in specific is how death to him was sweeter than honey, and how, no matter how you look at it, the world isn't something we can attach ourselves to. We shall analyze it inshallah with the salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. The 10th of Muharram, where everything happens. Before the day of the 10th of Muharram, the night, meaning the night leading to that day, the Imam Hussein alayhi salam at the dead of night told the companions that were with him that a war will break out tomorrow morning. You will have the option to leave. Whoever wants to stick with me and fight with me until the end, you are allowed to. I won't force anyone to stay with me and I won't force anyone to go. It's up to you. Qasim, the son of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, who was with the Imam Hussein alayhi salam, stood up and he said, what about those who are young like me? Will you allow us to also join you? The Imam Hussein alayhi salam asked his nephew, the Imam Qasim, the Hazrat Qasim is the Imam Hussein alayhi salam's nephew, the Imam Hassan alayhi salam's son, his brother. He asked Qasim, O Qasim, what is death like to you? And it's popularly narrated, we've learned in the Arabic, where the Imam Hussein alayhi salam asks Qasim that كيف ترى الموت? How do you see death? What is death like to you, Qasim? And Qasim bravely said that أحلى من العسل. Death is sweeter to me than honey. Qasim, the son of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, was around the ages of 3, maybe 4 when his father passed away. And so, not having a father figure, he was raised under his uncle, the Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Now, whether it have been through the Imam Hassan or the Imam Hussein alayhi salam, this same quote would have been repeated no matter what. Where Qasim, if in some situation, would say, "Ahla min al-asal." Death to me is sweeter than honey. It's a pressing matter. It's a very interesting thing to look at. How so? Because a young man, a young person, a teenager, 15, 16 years old, on the day of Karbala, completely forgot about everything, all his attachments within the world. Other people fled the scene. Other grown adults fled the scene. They didn't want to risk their lives. They wanted to live. Qasim, a 15, 16-year-old boy, said, death to me is sweeter than honey. It's a very important lesson that we can learn through his story. Now, Qasim, on the day of Ashura, before entering the battlefield, went and asked his uncle, the Imam Hussein alayhi salam, for permission to enter. The Imam Hussein alayhi salam, being the loving uncle that he was, with such a beloved nephew as Qasim, the son of his beloved brother Imam Hassan, refused. He said that I can't let you go to war. You're my nephew. You're my brother's son. You're beloved to me. I can't allow myself. How could I let you enter war and die? It was inevitable. He was going to get martyred. There were thousands of people. So then what did Qasim do? Qasim got sad. 15, 16-year-old boy. He was rejected from entering war. We probably would have been cheering, finally, I don't have to do war anymore. He said, I'm fine. But no, he was crying, he was weeping. He went to his mother and told his mother about what happened. He said, Mother, Mom, Uncle Hussein is not letting me enter the battlefield. I really want to help him out. I really want to join. I really want to be on the defense. What can I do? Do you have any way? He's not letting me and I'm sad because of it. He was crying. This is Qasim, 15, 16-year-old boy. His mother remembered that Qasim's father, meaning Imam Hassan alayhi salam, before his passing had written a note, a final letter to his beloved son Qasim. Qasim was only 3, 4 years old at the time. He didn't know much. But the Imam Hassan alayhi salam, before even Karbala happened, knew that his Qasim would be a special person. He wrote in his very important letter a very important message specifically to Qasim and told his wife that whenever Qasim is in a place where he has to do something but he can't do it, no matter how hard he tries, give this letter to him. He didn't specify it was Karbala, it was Ashura, it was a mother. She would probably not accept that. He just told his wife or Qasim's mother that when a day comes, Qasim wants to do something and he's not able to do it, give him this letter. So the mother probably found out that this letter that Imam Hassan alayhi salam wrote relates to this special day. And so she said, take a look at this letter. Before your father passed, he told me to give this to you. Qasim opened the letter, he read. And the letter is a very special one. It's a very close one to Qasim. He didn't see his father. He barely probably even knew who his father was. His father passed when he was 3 years old. And now he's getting a letter from none other than his father who he had missed. Imam Hassan alayhi salam wrote to Qasim and said that, Qasim, there will be a day where tens of thousands of armies, of soldiermen, of horsemen will come in the objective of murdering and martyring your uncle, the Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Do not back down, and do not make me lose faith in you. Very special message. Qasim hadn't seen his father. He hadn't heard anything from his father. Finally, he got a message. Finally, he's heard something from his dad. And what is his dad saying? He's saying that Qasim, on the day of Ashura, there will be a day. You're already in that day. If you're in that day, make sure you help Hussein however you can. Put your life on the line. I don't want to lose my faith in you. I want you to be my pride. Qasim, now with even more motivation, with an even greater dedication that he had prior, went to the Imam Hussein salam and gave him his letter. Now, it's special not for just Qasim, but the Imam Hussein salam too. The Imam Hussein salam really loved his brother, the Imam Hassan salam. And so getting this letter was like seeing his brother talk to him once more. The Imam Hassan salam didn't just write this letter specifically to Qasim, but under the passage that he wrote for Qasim, there was an area for the Imam Hussein himself, where the Imam Hassan tells his brother, Hussein, dear brother, you're probably in Ashura. You're probably on the 10th of Muharram. Tens of thousands of soldiers have gathered around you in the motivation or objective of killing you and slaughtering you. Now, I'm not here at the moment to be able to help you and put my life on the line for you. I'm not there, but at least accept this representative of mine. The Qasim, my Qasim alayhi salam. The Imam Hussein alayhi salam shed with tears. It was sad, but it was also bittersweet. Finally hearing from his brother after years. But how could he reject his brother's final proposal? And so Qasim once more said that, Uncle Hussein, will you let me enter the battlefield for you? I want to make my father, Imam Hassan, proud. The Imam Hussein alayhi salam, with tears on his face, replied and said that, it burdens me and it hurts me to let you do so. But because of your father, I have no choice but I have to let you go. Go and make your father proud. Qasim was only 15, 16 years old. And because he was at such a young age, normal armor wasn't able to fit him correctly. It would just drag him down. And so, the Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when he prepared him, Qasim didn't have armor with him. He had a shield and a sword and a turban wrapped around his head. But not armor. Armor was too heavy for his age. And so he entered the battlefield. He fought with the utmost courage he had until within the middle of battle, one of his sandal straps had loosened. And so he knelt down to fix that strap and continue fighting. One, in this moment of vulnerability, led to one of the enemies from behind slashing him in the back. Now, this slash was to the head and caused extreme blood loss. Qasim, though, on the other hand, when we've analyzed up until now at least, probably wasn't too worried about death. Because on the night of Ashura, he said that death to me is sweeter than honey. How so? Why was death sweeter to him than honey? Because he understood that attaching yourself to the world is meaningless. When you think of death as a friend, not as an enemy, then it's more easier to fall into something that's inevitable. It's going to happen. You're going to die. Do you want to hate it or do you want to actually be fine with it? There's a very beautiful hadith from the Prophet, peace be upon him, where he himself teaches us. This hadith can be found within Bihar al-Anwar and other ahadith with similar context, where the Prophet, peace be upon him, tells a young man, he says very, very beautifully, he says that, what do you know about this world? Right? This is the Prophet, peace be upon him, he's explaining death to us. إنما مثل الدنيا كمثل راكب مر على شجرة ولها فيء. You know what the world is like? You know what life is like? It's like a traveler who's traveled for quite a bit. He's getting tired, he's getting weary, and he finds a tree. Under this tree there's some shade. فاستظل تحتها. And so this weary traveler, this tired traveler, decides to sit under the tree to take a break, to rest. فَلَمَّا أَمَّالَ الظِّلُّ عَنْهَا ارْتَحَلَ فَذَهَبَ وَتَرَكَهَا. But when the shade of this tree disappears, he then gets up and continues his journey. The Prophet, peace be on him, gives us a very beautiful analogy. That death isn't something ginormous, it isn't something big, it isn't something devastationary, if that's a word we want to put it together ourselves. Instead, it's like a travel. You have literally come to this world. It's like a shade. You're sitting under and using a moment of rest. It's not too easy in this world, let's be honest. But just when the shade passes, we'll continue our journeys. And Qasim at 15, 16 understood that. He already knew what an easygoing way this journey was. You literally come to this world, you sit down, you take a break, and then you continue on your journey. And hence, it is why Qasim says that death is sweeter to me than honey. Because honestly, I find death as a means of continuing my journey. I don't want to attach myself to this world. I don't want to stick under this tree. The shade's already gone. Why would I want to be here any longer? Now, one very important and interesting part about Qasim's entire story is that after he was slashed in the head, blood was profusely bleeding, he shouted for his uncle in fear. What happened? Qasim, were you not afraid of death? Wasn't death sweeter to you than honey? Well, when the Imam Hussein ﷺ heard Qasim's shout, Qasim's scream, he ran towards Qasim, attacked the perpetrator that attacked Qasim, and held him over himself. Let's be honest, the reason Qasim actually feared or called and shouted to his uncle was not because he feared death, but because he instead wanted to pass away and leave this world with a better means than to just pass looking at an enemy. And that's very beautiful. He didn't fear death. He wasn't afraid of death. But he did have some fear and held some probable regret that if I die and I don't see my uncle one last time, the Imam Hussein alayhi salam, I'd be worried about that. So let me go and call him. And hence the Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when seeing Qasim and holding him with himself, he wept, he cried. It was a beloved nephew, the son of his brother, the Imam Hassan alayhi salam. But Qasim was successful in the end. He understood that life wasn't something to get attached to. It's just like a travel or a journey. We're walking, we've got tired. We see a tree under its shade. We sit down, take a few minutes of rest, and then we get up to leave. Qasim already knew that nothing was sweeter to him than death because he could continue that adventure that he was already on. And once more, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to review and revise, He teaches us in the Quran. This is in Surah Al-An'am. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Imran, He says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Every single soul shall taste death. Don't worry, no matter how much you want to stay away from it, you're going to taste death, no matter who you may be. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفُّونَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. You're going to die. You're going to face death. You're going to taste death. What matters most is how you will be rewarded or punished based on what you do. فَمَنْ زُحْزِهَا عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةِ فَقَدْ فَازَ. Whoever is able to stay away from hellfire and is able to enter heaven, paradise, you've won. Death is not something a big of a deal. Instead, think about what's going to happen later on. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. And the world or the life of the dunya is nothing except an amusement. It's not something we can attach ourselves to, but just a rest or a break that we use for a short while, we get up and then departure. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the tawfiq and the success of becoming among the true Shahs of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. We've learned from the story of Qasim that death, although difficult, can be something sweeter than honey. Let's try and learn just like Qasim, that this world isn't something to attach myself to. It isn't permanent, but it's something temporary. I'm here only for a little bit of a while, and then I'll get up and continue my journey. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين.